Seniors attended the mandatory Grit and Wit obstacle course last weekend. Here's live associate Shira Wolpowitz with the story.
Thank you. This past Sunday, seniors spent the day at Phelps Stadium and the Snyder Center doing a variety of team bonding activities, culminating in a 20-station Grit and Wit obstacle course. Organized by the EBI department, the event marked the beginning of the new senior EBI course, Transitions. The event aimed to bring students together through activities in which they had to rely on each other as a team.
So Grit and Wit is an organization that comes in and works with schools and various different kinds of organizations to put together really a great fun team building kind of a day. And so with our own transition classes, we had an opportunity to go through the course. So there were things that were witty, and so we had to use our brains to kind of as a team solve different puzzles and really kind of think about, how do we get to the end results? And then, of course, there was the grit part, which were just, some kind of fun, there were like things you had to climb over and things you had to balance on, and there was a really crazy seesaw thing. But all along, right, it's about team building. So, if you didn't feel comfortable, maybe one of your teammates held your hand as you went over. Like that was for me on the seesaw. I was like, I am not going over this without holding someone's hand because I will fall right off. So really just a great opportunity on the heels of Thompson Island Outward Bound, which we did in the morning, which really set the stage for, again, our individual transition classes to get to know one another. Because certainly, like in my group, I knew some of my students already, but certainly not all of them. So, and they did not necessarily all know each other. And then, of course, like part of the whole day was also, the food trucks were there and just like fun music and just kind of having the seniors just feel a sense of like community with one another and building that sense of finally like class identity that of course starts to build in ninth grade, but as every year we keep adding new students to the class, it's just really nice that now the class is complete with our one-year seniors and postgraduates. So it's just nice to feel like, okay, now in our whole space we have this opportunity to get to know one another.
This program was also done in collaboration with Thompson Island Outward Bound, an organization committed to closing achievement and opportunity gaps for Boston's youth through educational outreach and development programs.
My name is Ferguson, and I work at Outward Bound at Thompson Island. I've been working there for the past year. The overarching theme is teamwork and getting everybody comfortable with each other, especially at the beginning of a school year like we're doing it here. And with our group specifically, I noticed that there was a couple people that didn't know each other, so we used a lot of physical touch, a lot of trust progressions to get everybody kind of comfortable with being touched by other people on the shoulder and stuff like that, and just being ready to interact throughout the school year.
During the event, students split into their EBI sections for the activities, which provided a meaningful way for both faculty and students within the classes to get to know one another better.
So the Transitions program is designed to address a number of needs that seniors have expressed to us over the years, much of them having to do with really transitioning from PA to their life after PA, and wanting to make sure that we're doing everything we can to give them space and time to think about what's really important to them, to think about who they are, the values that guide them, so that they can be launching into this next chapter, wherever they head from here, with a real sense of self-awareness, again, continuing to build on skills of cultural competency and thinking about the values that really inform their decision making.
So I'm teaching EBI Transitions this year. I offered to. I used to teach something like this in my old school. We had something called Life After Parker. That was the name of my old school. And I just think it's an important year to be thinking about change. So I'm excited to teach Transitions. I'm excited to think with seniors about like what's going on right now and what's next. And it's not too much of a teaching curriculum. It's a lot more discussion and thinking together. I just think there's a lot of opportunity to think about like who we are right now and who we want to be when we go away from here.
The Grit and Wit event was originally planned to take place in the sanctuary, which raised some concerns among the senior class as students worried about the imminent threat of EEE. As a result, the event was rescheduled and moved to the stadium to avoid mosquitoes and wooded areas. However, many seniors were still concerned about Grit and Wit, primarily due to its being scheduled from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m.
Well, personally, I don't think it's really fair for the teachers to be able to just like take away our Sundays, because really they're taking away because people have to go to church, so they're really taking away our religious freedoms, and I really don't think that's something that teachers should be doing. And also, like, Sunday's just like the one day that I'm supposed to have free.
Personally, I think that the program's going pretty well. I enjoyed a lot of the team building games. I do wish that like the scheduling was handled a little bit better, because I do recognize that it's Sunday and it's in the morning, so some people were trying to go to religious services, and it's kind of early. But I do think that this is a good experience for all of us to have together as a class. I'm excited for the food that's coming later, and I'm just generally hoping that we can continue to have a good time, make the best out of it, even if we don't all want to be here.
While he and many others had not initially been looking forward to Grit and Wit, Jeffrey Steele, class of 20, noted that most students seemed to enjoy the event. According to Steele, the event was planned better than he had thought.
Originally, I thought it was just going to be like Grit and Wit the entire time, and I was just thinking, how long can this obstacle course really be? But now that like we've actually started, and I see that we're like doing some team building games beforehand, and that there's going to be like food in between, I kind of like there's breaks in between, so it's not as bad. It's not like a straight shot. There's time to like actually like sit down, take it easy, enjoy yourself. So I feel like it was better planned than we previously thought.
In the end, I felt, and maybe it was just the students with whom I spoke, but I think that most kids had a pretty fun time. I know the faculty members had a great time, and so I hope that the hype around this is positive enough that students next year would be excited to do something similar. You know, one of the other sets of needs senior fall that we're being responsive to is that seniors feel stretched by their number of commitments, by the college application process, and so we are trying not to have required programming during this stretch of time that feels busier.
Shira Wolpowitz reporting.